Hello sunshines, welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, and I can't remember what it's called right now. I am out for a walk because this morning my sister was like, hey, you want to go to this metro park and do the 6-mile walk? Yes. At any time anybody asks me a question, do you want to walk to or at? I don't need to hear the place. You said walkies, let's go on walkies. I'm like a puppy. I'm literally like a puppy. I want to go for walkies if I'm in a bad mood or I'm sleepy or unmotivated or anything negative. Treats. Yes, I want treats. I want food. So anyway, but my sister has not been going on walks like I have. So we got about a mile and a quarter in, a mile and a half in, and she's like, I can't, I'm not ready. My body says no. Her knee was starting to lock up a little bit, and I was like, okay, no big deal. So I'm walking back by myself to get the car. I left her oldest kiddo came with, so they are together. And where's this woodpecker at? Somewhere up here. Or over across the street. I don't know, a tree. Sorry, I got distracted. So she's with her kiddo. No, it's definitely this side of the street. Okay. Based on triangulation, I have now figured out which tree the woodpecker is in. It's... Oh, you can't see it. It's that one. That one. So yes, I'm walking back to the car by myself, and we are going to go for more walks in the future, which I'm so excited about. Literally, walking is like my favorite thing. I love walking so much. It's like a love language, basically. It's how I tell myself I love me, for sure. So that's why you see me going for walks so often. So anyway, the next time we walk, though, I'm going to take her to where I normally go walking, because then we're not committing to a 6-mile loop. We're only committing to I don't know. I haven't actually measured 3/4 of a mile. It's not very long. My hoodie is falling off. Rude. What are you doing? But on the walk, I brought my walking sock. So this is the second sock of the first pair that I'm making out of this yarn. So it was kind of a short walk, so I didn't get super far in it. Maybe not insignificant amount of progress. Maybe 12, 15 rounds, something like that. So not insignificant. Yeah. We are not walking tomorrow, but we are going to hang out tomorrow. We're going to go to the movies. I'm trying to decide if I should take this sock or something else. Hard to tell. So this morning, my sister told me that her oldest kiddo wanted me to pick up Allegiant, the last book in the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth, from the library, because they had talked with me earlier, I don't know, last week, the week before, somewhere around there. They read Divergent, loved it, found that there was a second book, and I was like, oh, have you finished the second book? Do you need the third one? And they were like, wait, there's a third one? And I was like, yes, there is. So anyway, they mentioned it this morning. We went to the park and took a walk, and and I drove, and the library was not super out of the way on our way back, especially because our walk was shorter than we had planned. We had extra time. So I took them to the library, and I got the kiddo Allegiant, but I also got them the first 3 books in the Lunar Chronicles. So it was Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress. And I got my sister, she picked out 2 books on her own And then I grabbed a couple off the shelf that I thought she would like. And then she was like, do you remember a book, Sebastian? No, that's not the name. It was a guy was one of the books and a girl was the other. I was like, yeah, Sebastian and Belladonna. I remember those books. And she was like, okay, do you think they have them? And I was like, yes, they absolutely do. So I walked her to those and grabbed those. So we got 13 books total. And I only got 3. In my defense, I only got 3. And also in my defense, they all came from the same shelf, so it wasn't really my fault. And I finished Arch Enemies yesterday, so Supernova will be on my shelf when I'm ready for it. It's the 3rd book in the Renegades series. It's by Marissa Meyer, who wrote the Lunar Chronicles, and then Gilded by Marissa Meyer. It was published in 2021, so I definitely haven't read it. And I don't think it's related to the Lunar Chronicles. I think it's a standalone fairy tale retelling of Rapunzel, because I opened it to be like, did I read that? I don't think I did. And I definitely haven't read this. And then this was on the same shelf, and I wasn't actually interested in, well, not interested in reading this book, but it wasn't like, like I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. But then there was a book that's part of the series that I was drawn to. But when I grabbed it, it said a Bloody Jack novel. And I was like, well, boo. So I'm going to read this first. But this is very short. But I did turn in 2 books today to the library. And I am dangerously close to finishing How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. A couple days ago, I asked on Instagram and Facebook whether I should read this or Sue Monk Kidd's The Book of Longings, and this book lost 12 to 15 votes, but I really wanted to read it, so I started it yesterday, and let's see, there's 171 pages. I'm on page 137, so I'm going to finish this tonight because this is amazing. It's Holly Black, and it is is it after the trilogy? Or is it in between books 2 and book 3 of the first Elfhame trilogy? Not the one that I just read a book in. That's going to be a separate duology. This one is about Cardan, who I love and is totally my book boyfriend, and I love him so much. So I think that I read that this was book 2.5, so it happens in between book 2 and 3. It's very short and it's illustrated, and these illustrations are gorgeous. Look at that. So beautiful. Oh, I love it so very much. Highly recommend this. I probably won't talk about it again because I'm about to finish it in like minutes. I'm minutes away from having this finish. So it's super, super good. And then I'm going to start the Book of Longing. Or maybe Gilded. I'm going to start the Book of Longing, and Gilded I will start tomorrow probably, if I'm being honest. Oh my gosh, I love Holly Black. This is about fairies. The bad kind, not the sweet kind. The like trickster evil fairies. That's what this is about, and I love it so much. If I don't bring my entire nest to your house when we're going to hang out for a few hours, I probably don't love you. Hello friends, happy Tuesday. I am going to the movies with my sister, so I pulled out my green garter stitch blanket because this is what I work on when I go to the movies, because it's super easy and I don't have to look. But I'm using green scraps, like leftover green bits, and I pulled out the blanket to see where I was, and it was time to change my my main color. So as you can see, I'm using 3 strands at once, and one strand
is yarn that I used for the certain shade of green advent calendars that I put together. And that's for somewhere between 9 and 11 garter ridges. So I'm to that. I have 10 of the previous color. So I attached my new ball of yarn, which is in the bag. Okay, so I have this. And then one of the colors is this kind of blue-gray combination. And then my third color was running out. And so I went in my scrap bag and realized that I don't really have that much left of green scraps. As you can see, green is like a loose designation. But this is what I have left of my green scraps. Not entirely. Like, I have other green scraps. Like, you can see green scraps. But those green scraps have to go through my other blankets before they can go into this blanket, because this is a blanket where every little last piece goes. So yeah, I'm going to work on this a little bit at the movies. I am going to turn this into a magic knot ball, which I don't normally bother to do, but I feel like it would be annoying to stop every, I don't know, few moments to tie these on since they're such small pieces. So I'm still going to take the blanket because I like having a blanket at the movies. This blanket is just not going to get a lot of work done. And then I will work on my walking sock. I have a hat too. Maybe I will take a hat. It's just another hat for a kiddo at school. No specific kiddo, just, hat. So I might take that too, because I can decrease that in the movies. I think I have about an inch before decreases. So I think that's going to be my plan for the movies. Okay, my magic knot ball is wound. It's the center pole. And then I did find this. So whichever one of these runs out first, I will attach this and work that until it's all out. So yeah. That's my plan. Part 1 for the movies. I need to work on my blankets, obviously, so that I can finish this year, because isn't that one of my goals? I think it is. Hey sunshines, it's Wednesday. It's been a minute since I checked in with you. So here's how the shawl is going. It's going pretty well. I would really like to be done with it today. I don't know that that's realistic. I have this much yarn left. Still quite a lot, but I don't have any plans except hang out for the rest of the day with my sister when she gets back. I'm at her house, and we're gonna hang out and watch Suits and a show called Tidelands, I think, set in Australia. It's about evil sirens and drug runners and stuff. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's decent. So yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully I finish this today.
It is peaceful though.
I know, it's very sad. Very sad. Brought my sister to go walking and everything is flooded. Look at how high the river is. The river is on the banks. It's on the banks. So high. Hello, Colby. What is it? You just want to yell at me? I apologize. My cat is apparently going to yell at me. So, I am going to do the check-in roundup thing with you right here. Because it's on my to-do list and now I feel like I need to do it. So anyway, spring break was lovely. And now that I have everything gathered here, I feel like I did a lot more crafting than I actually did. I made a to-do list for myself for spring break Tuesday of last week. So well in advance of when spring break was actually started, I made a to-do list of things to read, projects I wanted to do around my house, some mending, some crafting, coursework I wanted to get done, a really long list. And I've accomplished probably about 70%. I think I can get to the 80% mark today. But some of those things were craft projects, and I didn't. Oh, I forgot one. It's over on my bed. Pause. And as of yesterday, I hadn't really made progress on those crafting goals that I had for myself. Just because I was doing other things that I am so grateful for doing. When I was making this plan, I thought that I was going to be home by myself a lot. And it turns out that that wasn't the case. I was frequently out in the world with my sister, with my best friend. I spent very little of my break at home. I think today is the only day of break that I haven't left my house. And I might still go over to my sister's house today. Or I might just stay home. Either way is fine. I don't think... No, there's not a single day this break where I was just at home for an entire 24-hour period. So, the things that... Oh, I'm missing another project. It's not missing, it's here somewhere. I just didn't bring it over is what I mean. If I think about it, I'll bring it over. So a lot of what I worked on was stuff that was small and portable. Why don't I just start showing you the things that I have around me? So I finished so many things this week. I didn't really think that I had finished that much. And then I really thought about it, and I'm pretty pleased with my finishes this week. So I made something that I don't have. I didn't finish this first, but I'm going to talk about this first while it's on my mind. I finished a hat for my sister. It is, it's made out of some loops and threads yarn. She made herself a blanket, which is what the cat is laying on in this video. And she gave me all of her leftovers because that's what she does when she has leftovers. She doesn't really make scrappy projects. She just gives me the leftovers. And I didn't have a project in mind for those scraps, and I don't use that type of yarn, so I didn't want to save it. So I turned around and immediately crocheted. I thought I was making a basket. She decided it was a hat. So I made that right away, and that was lovely because it counted as 6 scraps used up. Because even though she had just given them to me, then they were my problem and they were my scraps, right? So 6 scraps immediately worked right back out. I mean, it wasn't immediate. It was the next day. Like, I went over to her house. She gave me the scraps. I went back the next day. The scraps were still in my bag. And I was like, she ended up taking a nap that day. She took a nap. So she wasn't using her hook that she had used to make the blanket. So I was like, I'm just going to borrow this really quick. And so I did. So I finished that hat. I also finished this hat, which is just a plain hat using random leftover yarn. I made my friend a pair of leg warmers last year using this yarn. And so it was just sitting there. This will go to a kiddo at school maybe this year, but it's getting pretty warm here. I heard a nasty rumor that it's supposed to be like 80 on Tuesday. No me gusta. So I finished that hat. I finished the first pair of socks that I'm knitting out of this yarn. It is Ba Yarn's La Jolla, and I don't know if it has a colorway or not. The tag is in the center of the yarn. So let me find it. And it came with a mini. So this blue yarn is what I used for the heel. Contrasting heel with the yarn. And as you can see, there's a lot left because it's just a pair of shorties.
So this is By Yarns. Did I say it was La Jolla? I didn't mean that. I'm just used to when I say By Yarns saying La Jolla after. It's By Yarns Footloose set. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 460 yards. And the colorway is Razzmatazz. So super fun. And before I talk about the other finishes, I did cast on the first sock in the second pair. So this sock is going to be for me. And I'm at a pause for a moment because it is time to put in the heel. It's going to be a shorty sock. You may remember that this first pair was knit toe up. My pair is going to be knit cuff down because my friend and I, we have similar likes in how our socks fit, but I prefer the fit of a cuff down sock more than a toe up sock. Just something about the construction like fits around my gusset area better. So I've started that. I am hoping to get through the heel today. I can do the gusset while I'm at school, and the foot obviously while I'm at school. So I would like to get through the heel today so that it is ready for school knitting tomorrow. That is the goal. That is the hope. So I finished that. So we're up to what, 3 now? The fourth one is right here. I finished the shawl for the yarn shop. Here it is. It's just a little shawlette. It's made for yarn with planned pooling. So that's hanks of yarn that have, like for every, when you open the hank of yarn, like 6 to 8 inches are dyed one color and the rest of the skein is a different color. So this is a crochet pattern. It's got like a mesh background sort of idea with puff stitches. The pattern itself is written out in 6 rows, with 2 of those rows being a repeat, but it's really just a 1 row repeat. So once you do it a few times, it's super, super easy, super mindless. I used up all but, I don't know, maybe 4 grams. I didn't weigh it, and I already worked it into a scrappy blanket because it's got cashmere in it, so I don't want it sitting around touching things, especially myself. The blanket is not for me. So yeah, it's a really good way to use up one really pretty skein of fingering weight yarn. A special skein works up really quick. I don't have the pattern name on me right now. I will link it down below and hopefully put it up on the screen right here. Editing Heather, please don't be lazy. We'll see if she is or not. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the other one is not technically a finished object yet, but it is going to be very, very soon. I got tired of working on it, so I decided I would record. Last week, I talked about making a paño. So here is paño so far. And I'm making this for my cousin's daughter. And she said she wanted fish paño, not girl paño. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. Paño is a movie, and it's super, super cute, and I love it. When I was making the doll originally, I just made arms and didn't really think about it. And then I was like, oh man, fish paño has fins. So I made this fin this morning and sewed it on. And here is the second one in progress. Hold on. Where did it go? Here it went. Here's the second one. It's about half done. yeah, I did all of the increased parts. I just need to work the few rounds of the arm. I'm not using a pattern. I've just made a bunch of amigurumi before, so I kind of just winged it. So this arm will get folded up and put in the other fin, and then I just need to put 2 eyes on it because when Ponyo is a fish, she doesn't really have a face, and her little sisters don't have faces. They just have eyes. Just the movie's really, really cute. Highly recommend. It's like got kind of a message about environmentalism and stuff in there, which I appreciate too. So anyway, here's Ponyo. And she will be finished before I edit this video, I'm sure. Because I say things like, oh, I'm going to go edit the video now, and I pretty much never do. But if I'm editing this video, I'll be finishing Ponyo, and I will definitely put a picture in of finished Ponyo. I think she's turning out super, super cute. Some details, because I didn't use a pattern, is started the hair the same way that I started the head, like shaping wise. And then at the very end, because Ponyo's got like kind of flyaway hair, I did 2 or 3. I did 2. No, thinking of the fin. I did a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet into every chain to give it that like ruffly hair texture. And then down on the bottom for the fins, I made the white circle and I had the body down to the bottom. And instead of trying to like sew, yeah, I'll take a burger.
What?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Instead of trying to sew them together, I crocheted them together. But when I did it on the first round, I did 3 single crochets into every, like through both layers of the single crochets. It's all done in single crochet except that double crochet edge up here. And then I felt like the fin wasn't big enough or like statementy enough. So then I went around and did 2 single crochets into each single crochet to give it that fin, that little ruffle. I think Ponyo is going to be super cute. Hopefully my cousin likes it. I haven't sent her any update photos or anything, but I'm going to finish her. I'm going to send pictures to my cousin. Hopefully she and her daughter like it. And then Ponyo will be finished. And that will be 5 things finished this week. That is a lot. I have worked on this week my exploration station just a little. Well, I mean, not that little. I've done at least 4 rows of brioche, and I did decide, if you saw my video of my bingo update, I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to do the brioche or pick something else, because like I had a mental block on the brioche. Brioche is so easy. It is not even difficult. I'm not doing single pass brioche because I'm just not in the headspace to like remember how to do it, and then you have to carry both yarns at once. And even though it's faster, it's harder on my hands. So since I don't need this done in any particular matter of time, I'm just gonna do the double pass brioche, because the way that brioche is worked, if you are unfamiliar, is you have 2 colors of yarn worked in every row. Can you see that? And it makes a reversible stitch pattern where the opposite yarns are more prevalent on the opposite sides. And it looks kind of like a ribbing. But you work each row twice, unless you do single pass, which I'm not doing. So I think I'm either a quarter or a third of the way through the brioche. And
since I don't have any, I'm going to cross my fingers as I say this, since I don't have any commission work right this minute, I am hoping that I will get back to working on this for at least an hour every week. Again, it doesn't have a time frame, but I would like it finished this year. And I know that once I get past the brioche section, the rest of it, I'm pretty sure the rest of it is like pretty simple. So I just need to continue to plug away on the brioche section and everything should be good. I will put pictures of the tags for the yarn right here. If you have any questions about any of the colors, they're really lovely. If you have any questions about any of them, comment down below. This is the Exploration Station by Stephen West, and the yarn is, or the needles are US size 5, 3.75 millimeter needles. I don't know what the pattern calls for. I may have gone with what the pattern says. I may have gone down because I tend to be like a looser knitter. So that's that. It is people playing things very, very loudly with their windows down season. I also picked up and worked on the glove for my kid's dad, and I made it through the cabling. This was on my list to do this week, this cable, and up until yesterday, I had not worked on it almost at all. And so I was like, listen, self, this is not this complicated. Like, yes, it's complicated. I have to look for every round, but sorry, I lost my train of thought. Becca brought me a burger. I'm not eating it yet, but it's there waiting for me. It smells really, really good. Okay, so I have to look every other round to see what to do for this cable motif. So it does require concentration, but it's not a difficult pattern at all. So there was no excuse to not finish the cable on the rest of this glove. And now I am on, I've finished the gusset actually. The gusset is made. I'm on the round where you remove stitches for the gusset and put them on a holder. So that is super exciting. So I am very close to starting the fingers on this glove, which I'm not excited about, but I am kind of excited about because, you know, that means the first glove is very, very close to done. And yeah, I really, like yesterday, I really thought I wasn't going to get to that point.
Do you say we check in, huh? Yes. So I finished Ponyo. Look how cute she is. And my cousin loves her. We're going to get together in the upcoming week so she can pick up Ponyo. Yay! All finished and super cute and finished. Yes, I did say finished multiple times. I did work the heel flap and heel turn on this sock, so I'm in the gusset. That is ready to go in my school bag. Yay that. And I have taken off the stitches for the thumb for the gloves. So I am really close to starting to split for the fingers. I also did just a couple rounds on the sock. Just a couple. So you can see the gusset is happening. The color is transitioning. I have ends though. Look at this. I used up one of my balls of black yarn. Yay! So that's one more on my scrappy, my used up thing. Look at this. So this is 2 weeks ago. This is last week. This is this week. 16 used up. Isn't that super exciting? Yes, it is. And part of that is because I worked on this project this week. So I was telling you I was going to move where the needles were, like the working side was over here, and now it's the other side. So I have done that, and I started knitting, and yeah, that's the cowl for fingering weight singles. It's just one of those projects where yarn kind of goes to be eaten all up, and I'm enjoying it. Now I'm going to move from these purples. This yarn turned out to be a little more brown than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why that color looked so purple when I was looking at it originally, but it's kind of brown. That's okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it enough to take it out. And now we've transitioned to this, like this purple went into a brown, and now it's going to go into blue, as you can see right there. So that's pretty exciting. That's how that cowl is going. I have hopes that I will actually continue to work on this cowl and it won't be set to the wayside, because it's, you know, it's too much to carry around school or on a walk, but it's not an overly interesting piece to work on. But that's a lot of progress for a week for something that's just plain stockinette and not a priority. That's like 2 inches, right? Something like that. 2.5, almost 3. This measurement from here to here is about 2.5. So yeah, almost 3 inches of work. Good job, me. So proud. All right, for real this time. I will see you in about a week. Bye for now, friends. Hello, sunshines. Happy Tuesday, the 11th of April, 2023. I am your host, Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. And this is episode 12. My car's being a little rude, sorry. Oh, it is hot here today. I'm taking a little walk. It's hot. It's 75 degrees. Last week, this time, it was like 40, right? It was cooler, but it's hot today. I'm gonna turn you around. I started a new project for walking because my walking socks are missing. I think they're somewhere at school, like in a random classroom. So I'll find them eventually. So I cast on this hat, but the gauge is way too loose. I'm using it's a cotton acrylic blend, and that gauge is not good. So I'm gonna rip out what I've done, and I think what I'm going to do is cast on. Right now I'm holding 2 strands together. I think I'm gonna hold 3 strands together. So 2 white and 1 red, I'm thinking, because I'm pretty sure I have more white than red. So I'm gonna do that and see how it goes. Well, now it's actually Tuesday. And yeah, here is the sock. Ba-da-ba-da. Excellent. I took it to the shop last night and actually made a lot of progress while I was teaching class. So I'm making this sock. It's a Lion Brand Mani Petty in the colorway Crew, which is my favorite colorway, I think. I have 3 balls of it, so I'm making it into socks for my oldest sister's child. So it's a 72 stitch sock. I'm going to make a tube and go back and do an afterthought heel, I think. I'm trying, I think I'm going to put in a yarn break for it, so a forethought heel, I guess. I think I'm going to do it in between the color repeat, so I'm going to finish out this color repeat, so I only have these 3 green stripes left, and then I'll put in waste yarn for the heel. But it's super, super fast. I just started this on Saturday or something. Now it's not going to get any work because I'm in school all day, but I mean, I might work on it, and it's just stockinette. So I still haven't found my other sock project. I should send out an email asking if anyone has seen the bag. They made their own little pond. Hello. Good day, sir and madam. Enjoy your pond.